This is part 5 on Rockwell trading and the PowerX optimizer. On day 17 and day 18, Marcus commented on my last video with a few suggestions. They mainly related to how I filtered stocks as far as gaps and trends. This seems more subjective to me than objective. It is difficult to say one chart represents a good opportunity versus another chart. And this is a good reason why I would like Marcus to do a stock portfolio and a long options portfolio with his P&L, like he's doing with his wheel strategy on his YouTube channel. He also mentioned how the wheel strategy stocks needed to be filtered based on them being in the danger zone, as he put it. When I asked for clarity on the danger zone, it meant that no big catalyst was coming up that would move the stock more than normal. And this is not an easy rule to apply. I would have to search the stock on Google for important news. And how would I know what news is important enough to move the stock and filter it off the list? I suggested that he could use a filter such as IV rank. And that would tell, if the IV was higher than normal, that would tell that there's some type of an event coming up. Now I'm going to go over week 4, my final week, with the PowerX optimizer. Okay, it is the night before day 16, and I was reading through a comment just now, and I realized someone mentioned in the comment section that I put in the GKNG and the LL target profit and stop loss as a day trade, and it went away. So I need to put those back in. So let me look that up. DKNG, I need to use 75.64 and 48.10, and LL, I need to use 15.44 and 31.43. Let me fix that. So DKNG, closing order, OCO bracket. Actually, put this to GTC before I forget. 74.64 and 48.10. Okay. And LL. $15.44 and $31.43. Okay, good. Now let's go to the PowerX optimizer and let's take a look at some potential stocks to add. I need 2. You can see that I have 3, and I want to have 5. So let's run this report. Okay, a lot of shorts. Start with this one. That doesn't look too bad. Equity curve looks good. ARWR. AY. This one I didn't like the chart. CAL. I think I couldn't short that one, if I remember. And CPE, I tried to short those, I wasn't able to. So let's look at ENPH. I didn't like the chart on that one. ENTG. This one looks pretty good. Not a lot of gaps, kind of up and down movement. Good equity curve. ENTG. So let's take a look at these two. So this one's going to be a short at 96. 62 shares. This one's going to be a short. 114 shares at 76.33. Let's see if I can put those in. ARWR. ARWR. Sell. Stop limit. 114 shares. Sorry, 76.35. 76.35. 76.35. And what would be 2% of that? $1.57. 74.82. And I think I need to take this down one. Okay, so if that gets below that, that will get short. Okay, can't short that one. Let's go with ENTG. ENTG. I'm going to try to short this one for 62 shares. At 96, or actually 95. And where would the stop be? 95.01. Okay, got that one in. So we need to add one more. It's the other one we couldn't short. FRHC, no, not a good chart, just go straight up. INO, no, kind of sideways. LRN, kind of two sideways. And S, it doesn't really go down, it just kind of goes up. Oxy, kind of sideways. PRPL, this isn't bad. Looks like it kind of goes up and down. Don't see a lot of gaps. Equity curve looks good. PRPL, short. $175 shares, 32.79. $175. $32.79. Two percent of that, and you get 32.12. See if we can short this one. Nope. All right, let's go to the next one. Target. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Equity curve looks good. TGT minus 30 shares, 177.85. So 30 shares. 784. See what 2% of that is. 174.28. Okay, good. So now we have our two possible additions, plus we have our stops and our profit targets on everything here. So now let's see what happens tomorrow morning. Okay, today is Monday, February 1st, 2021, day 16 with the PowerX Optimizer software. I have 6 things to do because I have 3 portfolios, so I've got to manage 3 and I've got to possibly add to 3. Let's start. So number 1, managing the stocks. Well, which stocks do I have? You can see that none of my potential openings occurred. I have no filled orders from last night. That means I have 3 positions in the stock portfolio. And the question is, did the trends change in those 3? So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that. Let's bring up the PowerX Optimizer. Let's go to my watch list. Should have those 3 stocks in there. I think there's just 2, so I'm going to add one, XLE. Start with LL, see if there's a trend change. No trend change. DraftKings. Nope, no trend change there. And XLE. No trend change there, so there's nothing to do with my stock portfolio as far as managing it. Next, we will manage my long options portfolio. It looks like I have 2 positions, and based on what I do with the stock would be determined what I do with the long options. So as far as managing long options, that's been managed. Number 3, managing the wheel. Let's take a look at the wheel positions. So I only have 4 positions. So as far as managing the positions, I have 4 positions and I own stock. So I need to sell calls against these. So let me go use the wheel strategy, or look up the PowerX Optimizer and it'll tell me what to do, I hope. So we've got APA, FAS, NEM. So APA, selling calls. The stock is APA. What did I buy it at? I don't know. Let's see. APA was purchased at $15. FES was purchased at $61. NEM purchased at $60.50. APA, $15. Number of shares, 300. Strike price, I don't know. Wasn't it supposed to tell me what it is? Let's see. Okay, I just spent about 30 to 40 minutes going through anything I could find on the wheel income calculator and how to pick this option strike price here. I thought it did it for me automatically, but it doesn't. I guess we want to get this to where it's around 30%, so we need to play with it. We need to kind of guess. Now, that's what I'm learning so far. I could be wrong, but I'm not going to just kind of guess on which option I want to sell. I think what I'm going to do is wait to watch Marcus's next video on his, what he's doing with his account and how he picks his strike and his option that he sells against his long positions, because I'm pretty sure he's going to have long positions, and hopefully he'll shed some insight on that. And then Also, I'll probably shoot over an email to the technical support just to see if there's a video on it or whether it's just pretty much a guessing game. So as far as that, I'm just looking for a little bit of more guidance on how to pick this call to sell. I don't know. Hopefully I can get that. So managing the wheel positions, I'm not going to do that today. I'll do that tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more information. Okay, number 4, add stock to the portfolio. Now I tried to do that last night and nothing got filled. So we weren't able to add any more stocks to the portfolio. Number 5, add long options to the portfolio. Well, we definitely can't add the long options based on these. I did go through, I think, every stock in there. One of them I couldn't short. So maybe that one triggered and maybe I can buy a put. Let's go back and take a look. There might be one. Okay, here we are. I know that one didn't trigger. This PRPL and ENTG. Let's see here. ENTG we tried. Target we tried. ENTG. So there is ARWR, which I believe, and PRPL. Those two got rejected, so maybe they triggered and maybe I can buy a put. Let's take a look. ARWR. Let's take a look at the options. Nope, can't buy those, not liquid enough. And PRPL. Okay, this is a possibility. Even though I couldn't go short, I might be able to buy the put. Let's see, 32.79. It needs to be below 32.79. Let's see if it is. PRPL 32. No, it's above. Okay, so as far as adding to my long options position, I don't see anything that's triggered or that has a decent chart. So basically I filtered through all those last night and just now. So we're not going to add to the long option position or the long option portfolio. Now as far as adding to the wheel, I believe we can do that because we only have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to add one more. Let's take a look at the PowerX Optimizer again, see if we can find a wheel stock. Go to the wheel calculator. Wheel conservative. We got all these. Which one of these do I feel like I don't mind owning? That's a good question. That's a fundamental question. DuPont, that's a big company. DD, yeah. I mean, let's take a look at that. We can do this one. Options price $68 at the February 5th. Need to get a minimum of 28 cents. I'm going to do one contract. Let's see if that's enough information. DD. Go here. February 5th. 68 put. And we want to get a minimum of 28. The mid price is 40, so we should be able to do that. We got one contract. Ooh, now it's 47. 40. Probably won't take that. We'll see. Yeah, this looks good to me as far as adding to our position. Okay, we're filled at 53. Okay. Now we have 5 positions. Now, as far as managing this, can I buy this back at 6 cents? No. I need to sell calls on these guys, and then this one obviously I just got into. These are for 5. We have a full wheel strategy portfolio. We're fully allocated. The only thing I need to do now is update the spreadsheet and hopefully gather more information about, a little more detailed on finding that right call to sell And again, I went through, took about 30-40 minutes, and went through everything that I could find in the course that talked about that. And the only thing I found was just kind of like a little bit of a guessing game. So hopefully I can find out more information on that. I thought it was going to be in the wheel calculator PowerX software itself, but yeah, it didn't show up there. Okay, there you have it for day 16. Okay, it is the night before day 17, and this is what I need to look at my stock portfolio and look to possibly add stocks. You can see I have 3 positions, and I want to have 5, so I need to try to add 2 more. Let's use the PowerX optimizer to do that, to filter these stocks, these potential additions. So I'll go ahead and run the report. Okay, let's start with the first one. I don't really like that chart. According to Marcus, he likes to see the up and down action. That looks like it's just up. This one's kind of just sideways. It doesn't really have that up and down action. Down. Not a lot of down action. See that? This one's just going straight up. Well, it's just kind of going up. That's the thing about that one. This one doesn't look too bad. ENTG. And I remember I couldn't short this one. So that's not going to work. And I remember we put this one in yesterday and it didn't trigger, but this is definitely one that we can put in again. PRPL 32.79, okay. Target, this was another one that wouldn't, I don't think I could short it, wouldn't let me short it. And then you've got Zillow. Zillow could work too. 126.99. So PRPL and Zillow. Let's see if we can get those. PRPL. How many of those shares do we want to sell? Zillow is minus 65 and PRPL is minus 146. PRPL minus 146. And stop limit, the price is 32.79. And 2% of that, 32.13. No, it was PRPL that got rejected. So Target was one I put in yesterday. Okay, my mistake. We'll go with Target. I know I'm going to go with Target again because I tried to put that order in last night. Let's check the number of shares for Target. 30. Minus 30 shares. Stop limit 177.85. 1 cent below that. We'll go with 2%. 174.29. And we'll try target again. And we have our Zillow. Z. Want to get short. 65 shares. $126.99. 126.98, and 2% of that. 124.44. Okay, so we have these two, Zillow and Target, that hopefully we'll fill tomorrow because we need to add. And when we go back to the software, we can see that we've already kind of went through all of these. So those are the only two, these two at the bottom here, that would qualify. Okay, let's see what happens tomorrow morning. Today is Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021, day 17 with the PowerX Optimizer. Okay, let's get into it. Number one, managing my stock portfolio. So the way I manage my stocks is I look at the PowerX Optimizer to see if there's a trend change. So let's do that. I have 1, 2, 3 positions. So DK, NG, LL, and XLE. They should be on my watch list. Okay, there they are. So let's see if there's any trend changes. No trend change there. No trend change. And no trend change. Okay, so that would be managing my stock position and also managing my long options. I've got 2 of them. Those have been managed because I manage the stock. Now, as far as managing the wheel positions, let's take a look at that. Here's the wheel portfolio. The wheel portfolio came up pretty good over the last day or two. And that has more to do with the market recovering probably than anything else. It doesn't have to do with the fact that the options expired on Friday. It has more to do with the direction that the market has gone in the last couple of days. Okay, so what do we do here? Well, first of all, let's look at our shorts. See if we can buy these back. Look at this one. Sold it for 63 cents. Might be able to buy it back for 6 cents or 5 cents. Let's put an order in here. See if we can close that out for a possible profit. I'll just put a GTC in there just in case. Okay, that one's ready to go. This one here, sold it for 53, buy it back for 17. Not quite worth 6 cents, but it's doing well. And then we have these guys where we actually own the underlying. And I wasn't sure what to do, so I emailed support. They emailed me back a link to one of the videos in the course, the ones that I'd already gone through. And I'd gone through those videos, and they did not give me any clear-cut rules on which call to sell against these. I did watch Marcus's video, and I'll be sure to put a link to that video, which did talk about what he did. And so based on what he did, I kind of put together some rules. They're not definite rules. Marcus hasn't put out any black and white rules about this. But the rules that I found were, number one, sell a call that's going to expire this week. So it's going to expire on Friday, or I guess the one that you could, it's either this Friday or sometimes maybe you won't be able to sell that one, so maybe you're going to have to go out a little further, but you sell the one that's closest to expiration. That's number one. And number two, you try to pick either the same strike that you sold. For example, this one was a $15 strike, so I might look at the $15 strike to sell, or maybe one strike higher than that. So you're going to use that strike or one strike higher. And we can put that into the software and look at it, but I don't know how that's going to make any kind of difference. But I guess we can look at the numbers and it helps us kind of analyze it, but it's either a rule or it isn't, and the software doesn't do that for you, but we'll look at it in the software. Okay, so let's go there. We'll go to the wheel calculator, APA, FAS, and EM. Okay, it's the first three, so I'm going to get rid of all these so I don't get confused. This one actually needs to stay in because I think we have that position on. Do we have DD? I believe we have that. So I'm going to get rid of these two. Okay, so this will tell us we use the 15 strike. What's the premium for that? I don't know. I got to look it up. And then we'll do the same thing for the one strike out. So maybe it's a 1550 or 16, I don't know. I'm going to push my other stuff onto the other screen so I can kind of look at it. And I know you can't see my other screen, but it's going to help me kind of put these things together here. So we're dealing with APA, and I'm going to look that up. APA. So what I'm looking at here is the one that expires in 3 days, because that's the closest to expiration. And then we have the $15 call. And then maybe we can go to the 1550 call. I don't know why he would pick one or the other. That's a good question. I know that he picked the first one that was out of the money. He didn't pick the one at the money. He picked the first one out of the money, the one that was just a little bit higher. So that's what I'm going to do, because that's what he did. So the 1550, what's this thing trading at? Yeah, that's in the money, but that's what he did. So I'm going to do that. We can look at it in here. 1550, 300 shares. Oh, no. This is what the price of the stock was. Here's the price option, strike, and the premium. So premium right now, let's call it $1, and let's call it 68 cents. This is about $1. This one's about 68 cents. Okay, so he comes in here and he looks at this and makes his decision based on these numbers here. I really don't know why he made the decision he did. So again, I'm just going to use the one that's just out of the money, that 1550, and that's the one I'm going to sell. I don't even know why I need to look at it in the PowerX Optimizer. Okay, so here's the 1550 call. We're going to sell 3 of them because I have 3. And the mid price is 68 cents, so we'll probably just get 68 cents for it. Or less. We want as much as possible. Okay, so we've got that one. So I don't really need the PowerX Optimizer for this, to be honest. I'm just going to pick the one that's right out of the money. So we did this one. We have the FAS. FAS. here. We're going to go, what did we get that at? 61. So that's our strike, 61. FAS. We're in the, the expiration that happens in 3 days. So 61 would be the one that we would sell, but actually we're going to go up a little bit. I'm just going to go one more and sell this one. We have one contract, mid price 320. Okay, and now we have NEM. We want to sell a call against our 100 shares. Let's go to NEM. NEM. Okay, what was our strike? $60.50. That was the strike. 60. So we want to sell the 61, just one higher. And we have one contract, mid price 57. These are definitely pretty liquid. So now we have sold our calls. So we've managed our wheel portfolio. Let's go to now. Number 4, can we add to our stock portfolio? No, our stock portfolio we attempted to add, and we have these in to add, but it didn't trigger. So we have 3 positions. Can we add to our long options portfolio? No, these were the only ones that I believe I remember that were qualified. Therefore, they didn't trigger. Therefore, our long options positions are not going to be added to. And should we add to our wheel position? No, we have 5. Our wheel position is fully capitalized. We've got 5 positions, so we don't need to add to that. Should I update my spreadsheet? Let's see. No. There were no order executions in this account, so I'm not going to have to update the spreadsheet. Okay, there you have it for day 17. It is the night before day 18. We have 3 stocks. And I want to try to add 2 more. It's been difficult to get this stock portfolio and this long option portfolio fully allocated. Let's pull up the software here. The PowerX optimizer. And we'll run the report. Okay, ADT looks too sideways, so I don't think that's a good candidate. CAL, again, too sideways, not enough of, not trendy enough. Yeah, it doesn't really go down. When it goes down, it doesn't go down. It's not trendy enough. This one, just kind of going up. This one's definitely not a good candidate. You can tell, that's pretty obvious. Not really up and down, just more of a up. And then TGT, I know we've tried to get into this one for a while. This one looks pretty good though. So looks like we just have one candidate that I feel would work. So let's go ahead and go with TGT, target, try to short it, 177.85. 30 shares. TGT. Sell 30 shares. Stop limit 177.85. That would be 84 actually. And then 2% of that. 174.28. We don't want to get short beyond that level. And this is a day order for over tomorrow. Hopefully we can add Target to the mix, and I really didn't see any other good candidates. So we're struggling here to get fully allocated with our stock portfolio and our long option portfolio, but we'll see what tomorrow looks like. Today is Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021, day 18 with the Power X Optimizer. Okay, let's get to it. I've got 6 things to do. I've got to manage 3 portfolios and possibly add to 3 portfolios. Starting with managing the stock portfolio. We put in Target last night, did not fill. It's not part of our portfolio, so we do have 3 DraftKings LL XLE. We want to see if there's a trend change. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll get into the Power X Optimizer, go to the watch list, and we do have those 3 things on the watch list. Okay, no trend change there on DraftKings. No trend change there on lumber liquidators, and no trend change on XLE. Okay, so we've managed our stock and we've managed our options portfolio because we have 2 options and they're based on these 2 stocks, and we manage the options based on what we do with the stock. Okay, managing the wheel. Let's go to our wheel. And it looks like we have 4 positions, which means that it looks like the GTC that we put in yesterday got filled. So we took profits on one of our stocks. Now let's take a look at what we do here. We actually don't, as far as I know, there's nothing to do when you sell a call. You just sit and wait for that call to expire, or you wait till the expiration day and then you possibly roll it, or obviously let it expire if it's worthless. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. DD, let's see. Sold us for 53 cents. Can we buy it back at 5 or 6 cents? No, it's worth 12. These are covered calls. Nothing to do there until the day of expiration. Okay, so as far as managing all the positions, I've done that. Next would be adding to the stock portfolio. The only thing we filtered through yesterday, and the only possibility to add to the stock portfolio, was Target. This has not been triggered, so we are still left with only 3 positions. Same situation for the long options portfolio. The only stock or underlying would have been Target. If we could have got short that, we would have been able to buy a put more than likely, but that hasn't triggered, and none of the other ones that were on the list last night qualified. So we cannot add to our long options portfolio. Can we add to our wheel? Yes, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to add 1 more. So let's go to the Power X Optimizer and see what we have for the wheel strategy in terms of adding 1 more. Go to the wheel calculator, and we have these guys here. So I've heard Marcus say you want to deal with companies that you would not mind owning. Never heard of them. Never heard of them. That's a 3x shares. Don't really want to own that. So really, United States Steel sounds like the only one that I feel comfortable owning. Am I going to do a lot of research on that? No, I don't know. I believe that whatever this price is and whatever the research has been done on it, it's already priced in. So just the fact that I've heard of them before, or I know they have millions of shares traded every day, I'm going to go with them. So we have the green here. We're going to add this to the wheel calculator, and here we are. So we have X, we've got the strike of 14, and we've got a minimum premium of 12 cents, and this is February 12th. Now, I think I already own this one, so I wouldn't, this is the only one that qualifies in my mind based on the criteria that Marcus has set up. Because we own this one already, and then these 3 I wouldn't own. So if this one doesn't qualify, then we're not going to add. Let's go take a look. X. February 12th. 14 put. Can we get 12 cents? I don't know. Oh yeah, and how many? Four. Sell 14 put. I want to get at least 12 cents. We're going to do 4. Okay, well, we'll let that sit. Maybe it'll fill. But that is the minimum amount of premium that we can get. So, by the end of the day, we'll either have 4 or we'll have 5 stocks in our real portfolio. Okay, so there really wasn't much to do today. So there you have it for day 18. It is the night before day 19, and we're going to look to add to our stock portfolio. We've got 3 positions we want to add to. Let's take a look at the PowerX Optimizer stock. See what the scanner says. Okay, we'll start with CalX. No, it's too flat on the downturns. This one's definitely too flat. I think we've eliminated this one before. It's too flat. This one just goes up. It doesn't really go down. This looks decent. Up, down, pretty trendy. Got a good equity curve below, above $5. Don't see a lot of gaps. Okay, and let's take a look at this. HZO. Too flat. And S, very flat. SLS, no. And then Target. I know that one looks good. We put in a short for that, I think the last 3 nights. But we'll do that one again. So we've got 2 possibilities here. Let's go into my account. HOME. Trade tab, we're going to sell it short. We're going to do 86 shares. We're going to do a stop limit at 22.75, and then we'll do 2%, 22.74 actually. We'll do 2% below that, 22.28. Okay, HOME, let's do Target. Target. We're going to sell that one short. 30 shares. Stop limit. Our price target is going to be 177.84. And then 2% lower. 174.28. Okay, there we go. We've got our 2 possible opens for tomorrow morning. And if they both fill, we'll have 5 positions on. Today is Thursday, February 4th, 2021, day 19 with the PowerX Optimizer. Let's get started. I've got 6 things to do. Manage my stock portfolio is number 1. So last night we tried to put in Target and Home. Those didn't get triggered. We have 3 positions. I'm going to check for trend change on these 3, DKNG, LL, XLE. So I'm going to go into the PowerX Optimizer. Go to my watch list. I should have those 3 stocks on there. There they are. Okay, good. No trend change there. We do have a trend change in LL, so we need to exit LL. Let's look at XLE. Oh, we have a trend change in XLE also. Okay, so we're going to have to exit both of these. It doesn't matter what price they're at. We need to exit them. So let's do that. LL. Right, closing order. Mid price. Okay, close out of that. Also, we're going to manage our long options the same way. Whatever we do with the stock, we do with the long options. So we're going to exit this. Make sure we put in the bid price there, $4. Let's get this filled. Okay, that's acting a little strange. All right, let's go to XLE. 41.91. Okay, we're out of that. And we have our long put. Let's close this out. Bid price 177. Okay, that filled this one. Sometimes this paper trading account doesn't act right. Let's see here. Let's just put in a market order. Okay, let's see what that filled at. 380. Okay. I'm going to add these into the spreadsheet. We'll see the overall totals for this. But I just managed my stock portfolio and I managed my long option portfolio. I only have one position left. I have no long options left. Okay, let's manage the wheel. I've got 5 positions. So X, I believe it was yesterday, this one actually got added to the mix. So I've got 5 positions. I'm fully allocated. So it's been relatively easy to fully allocate with the wheel compared to the other 2 strategies. This one here's a covered call. I do nothing. I'm going to wait until Friday or to the last day of expiration. Same for this one and this one. So these are the only 2 I'm looking at. I want to see if I can get out of this for 10% of what I sold it for, which would be about 5 or 6 cents. This is worth 9 cents. So the answer is no. This one was 12 cents. So I want to get out at about 2. And that's worth 10. So no. So there's nothing to do as far as adjustments on the wheel strategy. Okay, now let's get into item number 4, which would be adding a stock to the stock portfolio. And I did that last night. I tried to add TGT and I tried to add home. Neither one of these have been triggered. So they haven't been added to the portfolio. And if I were to go back through the other stocks, they all filtered out that they weren't worth adding to the portfolio. So as far as a long stock position, there's nothing there either as far as adding to the portfolio. So I'm actually don't have anything in my long stock portfolio. And tomorrow's going to be my last day. So it looks like we're going to end this long stock portfolio with nothing in it. Okay, so that would add, that would be number 4, number 5, number 6. Add to the wheel. No, I don't need to add to the wheel position. Okay, so that is it for day 19. And I'll be sure to update the spreadsheet. Okay, it is the night before day 20, and I'm looking to add to my stock portfolio. I only have 1 stock. I want to have 5. So let's see if we can add 4 more. I'm going to go to the PowerX Optimizer and run the report. You've got 7 or 8 we can look at. Let's take a look. ATRA doesn't have that kind of trend that it should, so that's a no. Calyx, it just doesn't seem to go down when it goes down. So it's not like an up and down trend, it's just kind of a sideways then up, sideways and up. So that's a no. This one just seems to go straight up. That's a no. You know, Dree is just too sideways. It's not really up and down, up and down. This one looks pretty good, trendy. Does it have gaps? It doesn't seem to be too bad with the gaps, and it has a good equity curve. This one right here, PEN, is a good candidate. Let's look at SLS. No, it's all sideways. SM. Not, it's too sideways and then it goes up, straight up. It's not a good trendy stock. It just seems to go sideways and then up, so it's not really a trendy stock. So the only one I really think would qualify here is PEN. So let's see if we can possibly add this to our portfolio. We want to get short at 242.44 and 11 shares. PEN. Only 11 shares. Stop limit and 242.44, 242.43, and then 2%, 237.58. It's currently trading 245. Okay. Alright, so not available to short, so we're not going to have any possibility of an addition to our stock portfolio for tomorrow. Today is Friday, February 5th, 2021, and it is day 20, my last day with Rockwell trading and using the PowerX optimizer software. Okay, let's get started. I noticed here that I had a fill with XLE. And I actually exited XLE yesterday. One thing I forgot to do, I forgot to get rid of these open orders here. Remember how I had, when I had the position, I had a profit target and a stop loss. I forgot to exit out of those orders. So don't worry about any P&L or anything on this XLE, because that's I have that in a spreadsheet, so that's all accounted for. But just a note, remember to cancel orders when you close out positions. And this here, this is really not, shouldn't be in here at all, so I'm going to just take it out. Okay, let's get to number 1 out of 6 things, manage stocks. Last night I could not put in any potential new stocks, and so there was nothing added. I just have one position. Managing long options, same thing. Based on what I do with stocks is what I can do with options. I have no options positions. Managing the wheel, see if there's any management here. These are covered calls, there's nothing to manage, and then I come to the ones that are just naked puts, short puts. I'm trying to get 5 cents here, it's worth 7. I may or may not get that. I can just put the order in. Probably won't get filled, but that would be the right thing to do there. And then this one here, oh, did get filled, looks like. Wait a second, did I put in the right number? Yeah. Okay, good. So we took profits there because this option does expire today. So that makes sense. On this one here, sold it for 12, want to buy it back for 2 cents. It's worth 5. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything there. All right, next, add to the stock portfolio. We talked about that. Add to the long options portfolio. We talked about that. Now adding to the wheel. I'm not going to add to the wheel because today's my last day. I'm going to shut this thing down. So really we can look at what happened over the last 4 weeks. I've actually traded this system for 4 weeks. And the answer lies in this spreadsheet. So we'll talk about the stock portfolio first. And we'll work our way down. Let me go to the spreadsheet. Okay, so when it comes to stocks, you can see that over 2 weeks we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stocks total that we traded over about a 1 month period. As far as winners versus losers, this one's not closed out, so I'm really not going to say whether we won or lost on it. So we have 9 stocks that were closed out, 1 broke even, and 8 of them were losers. And you can see that we're down 13.58% on a $25,000 account. So that was the results of the stock portfolio. Let's talk about the option portfolio over the last 4 weeks or month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we were able to put on only 7. That was one of the things that I didn't like, is the fact that I couldn't get fully allocated. I couldn't get fully allocated over here either. And as far as all these are closed out, so there's nothing really up in the air, and every single one of them lost money. So 7 trades and 7 losers, down for about 7% for a 4-week period. Okay, let's get to the wheel strategy. If you remember when we very first started talking, the first thing that I talked about was I didn't think that these 2 portfolios were going to do well, but then I thought the wheel would probably do okay. Let's see how the wheel did. So we started with 25,000 and we ended up with 26,197. So let's do some math there. Well, we can just see right here, $1,216. 1216 divided by 25,000 is about a 4.8% return. That's really good. There's a lot of risk though to get that, but 4.8% in about a month, 4 weeks for the wheel portfolio using the Power X optimizer. I'm going to create a video, one more video. I'm going to talk about the results a little more in detail. I'm going to go over the 16 questions that I always ask all the instructors, and I will give my opinion. So that video will be the next video after this one, which will be part 7. So go ahead and be on the lookout for my next video for my conclusion with the Power X optimizer software.